Emirates become the second team to qualify in the playoffs of the DP World ILT20 Season 4. They'll take a lot of confidence from this win. They restricted the Gulf Giants to 141. It wasn't Bairstow, it wasn't Tom Batteron, but it was Mohammad Waseem and that man, Nicholas Pooran. We waited with bated breath for his bat to fire, and fire it did. Come at the man at the brink of qualification. Emirates needed this man to perform, and he got a 69 of 49, 6 fours, 3 sixes, a strike rate of 140, and Emirates go home with 8 wickets win over the Gulf Giants. Not just those 2 points, but come in and secure the second spot in the playoffs. Well, they'll be very confident with that. Here's a quick look at the numbers. Well, the Emirates won the toss, selected to bowl first, restricted Giants to 141. They reached 141 thanks to Moeen Ali's 51 of 48 and a good partnership between Moeen Ali and Kyle Mayers. But when the Emirates came to bat, it was a 140-run partnership between Nicholas Pooran, 69 not out, and Mohammad Waseem, 59 not out, that got them home. It just required 2 batters to come and fire. Let's take a quick look at the points table. So Emirates and Desert Vipers, 2 teams have qualified in the DP World ILT20 Season 4 playoffs. 2 spots remain. Dubai Capitals, Gulf Giants, Abu Dhabi Knight Riders and Sharjah Warriors. All these teams in the hunt. Well, I just have to say that the Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium knows how to put on a show. It just doesn't disappoint. Well, I've got with me Darren Ganga as well as Andy Flower. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hiya. Evening.
It has been a good day of cricket, and you would be very happy with that kind of knock.
Well, I mean, you can look at it from different angles. Of course, Nicholas Pooran finding form. Emirates securing an important win, as you mentioned, for them to qualify into the playoffs. 2 other batters getting half centuries, because previous to this match, throughout the entire tournament, only Pollard and Bairstow managed to achieve that sort of individual landmark. So their batting coming into its own as they go into the business end of the tournament. Very pleasing for Karen Pollard and Robin Singh. But on the other hand, James Vince, Jonathan Trott, they'll be very disappointed with that batting effort first up, because losing 3 wickets in the power play and then struggling and crawling through the middle phase. The 1+ though was 50 runs scored in the last 5, because they've been the worst amongst all the teams in the last 5. So that came good, but they couldn't piece together the other 2 parts of the batting innings. So when you score a score like 141 against a batting lineup that has Pollard and Pooran,
just not enough runs.
It's not enough runs.
Yes, Andy, former coach of Gulf Giants, but we'll come to that. We'll first appreciate just how good Emirates were there. And Desert Vipers do look like the team to beat, but how good are Emirates?
Well, Emirates, we said it up in Dubai Stadium after watching them in their last win up there. They are a side on the up. Their graph is heading in the right direction, no doubt. They're really well led, obviously, by Pollard. Robin Singh is a serial winner as well. So you can see them getting more confident. And one of the most pleasing things from a Emirates perspective, and actually from a tournament perspective, was seeing 2 batsmen put together a partnership. They got 139 together today, after their side were 2 for 2. So watching how they put together that partnership was really brilliant. It was sensible batting. And in these days of T20 cricket, particularly over the last couple of weeks, we haven't seen a lot of that. That was proper innings building from Mohammad Waseem and Nicholas Pooran. So that right-left combination, the way they communicated between overs, it was really lovely to watch.
Yes, but well, we were talking about that partnership. Andy, you were touching on how they built it. What did you make of it?
Well, first, I would say the challenge for Mohammad Waseem when he lost Johnny Bairstow, he sort of contributed toward that dismissal by not sort of encouraging him to go for the review. And then the calming effect that Nicholas Pooran had, as Andy mentioned, the communication clearly showed that they had a plan, and they set themselves small goals, because they were very watchful. Pooran in particular was very watchful in his first 4 or 5 overs at the crease. They managed risks properly, and then to see how they sort of took control of the innings and dominated. They eventually struck at over 140. And it was pure batsmanship skills on show, as you mentioned. You don't often see that, but they appreciated the conditions. They appreciated that the bowlers were on top initially, and they controlled their egos, because at times in T20 cricket as a batter, when you know you have a strong record of 6 hitting, strong record of runs below your belt, you can easily go out there and let your ego get the better of you and not appreciate and respect what is in front of you. That is what I felt they controlled well, and it proved to be successful.
And for you, Andy, because Nicholas Pooran is a showman. He knows how to put on a show. We were just waiting for it throughout the tournament. Now, just before he leaves, he has been able to do that. What did he change today?
Well, he's been struggling a little for form in this tournament. So, and he's played fairly conservatively for Nicholas Pooran. So Darren actually used the word, he's built this innings as an architect might. And the architect makes the plans, doesn't he? And that's what you need. You need to be thinking clearly enough to create a plan in your head how you play in certain conditions against a particular bowling attack. And that's exactly what Pooran did. We saw some of those expansive shots a little later in the innings to apply the coup de grace for the victory. But it was that architecture, the structure of the innings that was really lovely to watch him build.
Right, an architect, that's how he built his innings. But having said that, you know Nicholas Pooran rather well. What makes him so great in this format?
Well, I think his successes in the past. What he's done is he's rubbed shoulders with players who have been successful with the bat in this format. He has spent time with his preparation, with honing his skills and proficiencies as a batter. If you listen to him talk about his batting, he knows his matchups and what he can do, so he has confidence in his individual ability against particular bowlers. So he trusts that ability that he has. And now you're seeing that individual sort of strength being matched and aligned with conditions, with opposition bowlers, and that's the batsmanship skill we're talking about. So over time, you don't just get that overnight. You build a database of knowledge in the game, and he's done that because of the gamut of T20 cricket he has played. He has his templates against certain opposition bowlers, and he is aware of situations, so he knows when to play second fiddle, when to take control. And you could see that there was an ebb and flow in his approach to batting. So that is why he's so consistent. Again, he's got the power game too. So he knows when to unleash that aspect of things.
And he has unleashed that many times here at the DP World ILT20 in the previous seasons. He tells us how much did he enjoy it.
Oh, clever, very clever indeed. Nicholas Pooran, one bounce, two bounces into the boundary for four.
Yeah, the atmosphere here is beautiful for cricket, and even when you're not playing, it's easy to switch off here in the UAE. Yes, I've been coming here a lot of years ago, and it's just wonderful to see how everything changes every year. Every year it's a different building. You can see now here in Dubai, it's a massive sport hub here around the stadium, even in Abu Dhabi as well. And that's really nice for us. It gives us an opportunity to really come here and relax.
How did a typical West Indian like you choose to vacation in Iceland?
Well, firstly, it was one of my bucket lists, my wife and I. And it was actually on our way to Abu Dhabi as well. And we felt like we'll go there for 5 days vacation before we come. Before the year starts for me, because we have a long schedule in front of us. But it was really beautiful. We enjoyed some quality time there as well, and it was nice.
Are you able to pronounce those really difficult place names?
I'll give you one, Reykjavik.
Well done. That's the easiest one, actually.
Yes, it is the easiest one.
How thick is your bond with Karen Pollard?
Maybe a bit too thick, but we have a really strong bond, both on and off the field, and you don't get that often, so much love there and appreciation. My future plans, to play as much cricket as I can. Obviously I'm representing the Mumbai franchise in a couple leagues. I'm playing for the Lucknow Super Giants as well. So, those are the two teams I'll be representing in the next couple of years, hopefully.
How much do you enjoy the game of T20 cricket?
I love it. Every year it brings a new challenge. For me personally, my goal is to win as much championship as possible and try to influence the guys around me to continue to make me better, and for us as a group to continue to be successful, because at the end of the day it's all about how many titles you've won as a group. Those are the memories you'll take forever, and I want to be known as a winner as well. Not someone who hits sixes and scores a lot of runs, but I'm a championship of one. In cricket and sports, failures are tough. You enjoy them, you embrace them, but it's satisfying when you win. And that's my journey.
And we thoroughly enjoy watching him in this format because he knows how to light that night sky. Now, talking about Nicholas Pooran, a Caribbean boy liking to go to Iceland. That's interesting.
Well, we now know why he took so long to score a half-century. He took a long time to thaw out from the ice in Iceland. I mean, as a West Indian, you're frozen when you have had that sort of experience. I did mention that gap beyond the CPL, so your time away from cricket is also a factor in your form. If you don't have game time and time out in the middle, it can play on your fluency as a batter, and you saw that despite him getting a half-century tonight. You looked at what he did in the build-up to this half-century. He spent a long time out in the middle. He was striking at just over 100, so he recognized that he was short on time out in the middle, and he sort of played himself into form, which is a responsible thing to do.
Yeah, and that timeout's really important, isn't it? You need to take breaks from the game. You can't stay on the treadmill constantly because you end up wearing yourself out. So it's good that he's had a break, but yes, once you do have that break, it does take a little bit of time to come back. He took that time tonight. That was brilliant to watch, and that's going to stand him in really good stead in the months to come, up to the leading up to the World Cup.
Indeed, he came in, he read the conditions, and then he fired, and he had a partner in crime on the other side. It was Mohammad Waseem. But here is a huge congratulations, not just to my Emirates, but also to all our winners of Jalwa Dikhao Inam Pao. Here are all the winners who've answered the 2 questions that our experts ask you during the match correctly. It's time to announce the winners of Visi Smart TV presents Jalwa Dikhao Inam Pao contest from the previous match. Congratulations for showing amazing Jalwa and winning exciting rewards from Visi Smart TV, a smart TV that has it all, the youth entertainment brand. Don't miss your chance in the next match because with Visi Smart TV, Jalwa Dikhao Inam Pao. Congratulations to each one of you and everyone who joined our broadcast. Now, very quickly, we will take a short break, but thank you so much, Andy. Thanks a lot for joining us. You stay with us. You're going nowhere because the Caribbeans have fired tonight. But with that, we'll take a short break here. More on the other side. Welcome back to Cricket Safari. Mike Hazeman joins us. Good evening.
Hi, Ridhima. How are you going?
Oh, very well. It was a delight to watch Nicholas Pooran and Mohammad Waseem on the other side. We were just talking about how Nicholas Pooran took some time to settle in the tournament and he comes in and fires. But how good was Mohammad Waseem on the other side for you?
Yeah, I thought it was terrific. And there was no doubt there was a lot of chat going on between Nicholas Pooran and also Waseem. So I thought that was really important. And that partnership was outstanding. Highest partnership for any wicket in the season 4. So I thought that was superb to see. Besides, I mean, let's face it, he couldn't go back to that change room, could he? He couldn't go to the dugout at all after giving Johnny Bairstow out. So he had to stay out there. Otherwise, Johnny Bairstow would have knocked his block off probably. But I thought it was pretty good stuff from, here we go, there's a little bit of a mix-up at both ends, actually. They couldn't pick it up and all sorts of stuff going down. Bats dropped, people falling over, all sorts of things. But
yes, there was a lot of drama out there. There was a lot of drama. But in the end, it was Mohammad Waseem. But overall, if you take a look at his tournament, you know, there have been times where he's taken a bit of time to sort of warm up, got the start, never converted them. But he's also the green belt holder, which means he's one of the most outstanding UAE players. And by the way, in the last 3 seasons, he has been the most valuable UAE player. So yet again, in the run. But Mohammad Waseem, how would you define his time out here at the ILT20?
I would say that he has shown progressive growth and maturity as a player. From the very first innings he played against this set opposition, he was dismissed for 1. And I felt that he was reckless in his approach at the top of the innings, seeing that innings. But beyond that innings, he's gotten into double figures many times with starts, and he just hasn't carried on. Tonight was the first night that he really looked, I would say, balanced with his approach to T20 batting. He was neither reckless nor he was conservative. He found that equilibrium, as I often say, in T20 batting. Whether it was the Nicholas Pooran factor that brought that out, or whether it was over time him recognizing where he's fallen short.
Why don't we ask the coach?
Yeah, well, he's the ideal person to tell us about Mohammad Waseem.
Well, Robin Singh, of course, the coach of my Emirates. First of all, you must be very delighted with that win.
Yeah, surely.
Brink of qualification, but how good? You just require 2 players to chase down 141.
Yeah, I mean, look, we just had a conversation in the dressing room and we were talking about the track and it looks easy. Easier said than done, but I think what the general consensus is the wickets are a little tricky. It's not that simple, and you need to have people in as long as possible. We've been actually stressing on the fact that the first 2 or 3 guys bat as long as possible, irrespective of run rates or strike rates, because we have a lot of guys who can actually hit the ball. And if you look at our batting lineup, we are probably the biggest hitting team in the tournament, especially in the last 3 or 4 overs of a game. So we tend to make up quite fast in the end. So I think a lot of guys panicked, I think, initially. The wickets were a little slow. I think everyone has realized that it's not going to be that simple to win this tournament. So everyone has to dig in.
You know, I'll let Darren and Mike touch upon the technicalities of the sport, but very quickly, Robin, just the way you guys started the tournament to where you are, 4 games now on the trot, what caused that turnaround?
Look, in T20, anyone can win. There are many good teams here, but when you have a chance to win, you need to win. I think we put ourselves in that situation at the start of the tournament. We had 2 games that we should have won handsomely, on much better wickets. As you realize, as the tournament have progressed, all the wickets have become slow. I mean, the scores have gone on by 25, 30 runs in almost every venue. And we have the depth. It's just that it's about application, you know, it's about recognizing what you need to do on these tracks. And it's a little more for 50 over sort of batting, more than a T20 batting. The bowlers are pretty skillful. There are a lot of guys who know each other pretty well, so they're not going to go with easy stuff. I think Nicholas Pooran is one of the guys who people tend to target a lot with off spinners now. We've been working a lot on that, but the wickets not allow anyone to actually just get away. And situations sort of dictate how you play to a large extent. I was just listening to Darren actually, and really and truly it's about how you can get away from the strike when you play on slow tracks. The less balls you play, the more time you spend at the non-strikers and you see what's going on, and you know what shots you can play. And it's about reading the situation. As the game goes, you need to play in pairs on these sort of tracks. You need the next batter to complement you, and if you have that with you, then it becomes easy, as we saw today.
I'd like to just go a little bit further. You did mention the trickiness of the surface. Now, this is the 3rd win out of 6 that you've won chasing. You won 3 batting first. Is it a case where you're much more comfortable as a team chasing when there's a target before you, because you can frame the way you bat, given the fact that you're mentioning scores are a little bit low, it requires a little more brain power?
That differs, to be very honest, in different venues, different conditions, but I think it really differs. If you ask me, I wouldn't want to give away my thought process, right? But I have a different view to a lot of the current generation of cricketers, and I think if they understand the concept, it puts less pressure on you if you have the skills to do it, right? Now we have as a coach, I need to understand who can play that role for us or not, and we need to understand what are the strengths of our team.
I would like to give our viewers some insight as to, I mean, Nicholas Pooran, we know what a magnificent player is, and no one would have been more frustrated than him in the fact that he wasn't getting starts. What was the process behind the scenes for Nicholas, and what was he doing to ensure that he was going to, at some stage, and it's just a matter of time before he was going to start hitting his straps?
I think we looked at a lot of videos. We looked at a lot of old stuff, new stuff, what he's doing, what he's not doing. And to be honest, a lot of it is mindset. As you keep scoring runs, you spend time at the crease. Look, he's got 2 40s. And actually, the first game when he got 40, I told him that's probably the best thing for you in the tournament, even though you had to play slowly. Because most of the cricketers today who can strike the ball, especially people like him, who have a free-flowing game, they don't really get into those situations very, very often. But you find in this tournament, almost everybody has got in those situations. It's only when you come down in the back end, a lot of teams have got it wrong, again. I don't want to go into that detail.
Yeah, sure.
And it becomes relatively easier to bat. So if you can understand the thinking of the opposition and get through the first 10 or 15 overs, I think you're in business. But you need to be there. And you need to be at a fairly good click. So I think today what we really did well, which is one of the keys in batting on these wickets, is to run well between the wickets. And that was one of the messages.
Get busy out in the middle. Just one final question. Has Waseem and Johnny Best, have they spoken at all, or are they still icy?
No, they're okay. They're okay.
Are you sure?
I don't think it's a problem. But I was really happy with Waseem today. I've been begging him for a long, long time. the bad 15 overs for me. Right, and he's somebody who can strike the ball. Yeah. So I'm really happy that, and it's good for us as a team going forward in the tournament.
Yeah. Robin, my Emirates is looking like a well-oiled machine. Congratulations for qualifying and congratulations on winning in this.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Aaron.
Now, very quickly, let me remind you what we've got for you tomorrow, because remember, there are 2 spots still remaining for the playoffs, and you are going to see a certain Dubai Capitals taking on a Sharjah Warriors that is coming off a victory on this very ground, and they take a lot of confidence in just the way they won that last game. Sharjah Warriors, you've got a certain Sikandar Raza, but that man, Adil Rashid, with the bat and the ball, is your man to watch out for. Now, Sharjah Warriors, yes, they're on the bottom of the table, but can they turn things around for themselves?
They can. They have the resources to do so, and they have turned their bad form around to good form. So that could be the inspiration that they need. Sikandar Raza spoke about him playing the remaining matches as finals. So the probability is there for them to qualify. So I think if they can repeat the things that we saw in the last game, they have a very good chance of winning.
Then indeed, on the other side, Dubai Capitals, defending champions. Once again, can they be seen in those champions' colours? Can they make a run to the playoffs?
Yeah, they can. I think they can. I think they've got, if they get the players, their right players coming to the fore, I think they can. They can be very dangerous when they're firing. And I think if they find a bit of form at the right time, that's what all the teams need to do at this stage right now. Find some form at the right time. I think it might be a little bit of a scramble towards the end to sneak into that 4.
Indeed. Well, gentlemen, any predictions?
No, I'll save that for game
You'll save that for tomorrow. What about you?
I've got one prediction. Bairstow won't speak to Waseem. No chance.
Well, we heard otherwise from Robin, but thank you so much, gents. Thanks a lot for joining us. Well, it has been a rather interesting time here at the Zayed Cricket Stadium. Yet another game to remember, especially when you've got a certain Nicholas Pooran firing just the way he's been doing ever since he stepped in the DP World ILT20. We were waiting with a bated breath for that knock, and it did come at a crunch moment. And my Emirates become the second team to qualify in the DP World ILT20 Season 4. On the other side, Sharjah Warriors versus a defending champion Dubai Capitals. Can Sikandar Raza, who was a part of that Dubai Capitals that won the trophy, turn things around for themselves? I guess we'll find out. For now, it's a good night.